Welcome, Crafty Friends. Annie Collins here for Pajama Crafter Stamps. Today we're going to create this fish-themed card. Let me go over the stamp set I'm using and the products I'm using. I'm using the Don't Be Coy stamp set. It has 3 images, 2 of the big kois, and bubbles. It has great sentiments like "You're stronger than the current," or "Sending you oceans of love," "Holy carp, you're cute," just to name a few. We're going to also bring in the girls' best friends, Rhinestones, and a mermaid tail confetti. I have other items here that are from my stash. I'm going to bring some alcohol markers. Oh, these 2 panels are made from, I cut from Marshmallow Cardstock. We'll be stamping our images on that. I have some ocean stencil, a dot embossing folder, and some cardstock, a pale blue, a navy, and my card base. I also have some little cut pieces of like circles, hearts in 2 shades here, one white, one blue. And then all these other little pieces are the pop out pieces from those little shapes that I die cut. And I have an extra circle that right here in white is also from Marshmallow Cardstock that we're going to do some of our background stuff. So we're going to do a little mixed media fun for the background. And I'm going to bring in my Distress Oxide inks. I have Tumbled, Glass, Chip Sapphire, and Mermaid Lagoon. And we're just going to do the old splat background. I have some shimmer spray here in it's a dark blue. And we're going to use that to do some splattering. I'm also going to bring in my heat tool because we'll be heating in between. Now I've sped this up so that you can see all the process and it doesn't take us all day to create. So all I do is um, press the ink pad onto my glass mat, and then I add a little water, press the panels into it, and then heat set in between for layering. So this is super simple. You want it to be looking irregular because you want it to look like movement of under the water. So you just keep doing this until you get the desired look that you would like. So I just do this, keep adding, and now I'm using the oxide so they get a more opaque look, where if you use the distressed inks themselves are more translucent. So your choice, either way. You could do this with any water reactive ink if you don't have distress oxides. All right, so now I'm going to bring in this little wave stencil, and I'm going to use the darkest of my inks, which is the Chip Sapphire. And I'm just going to blend in a few of the lines. I don't want the full image. I just want a little bit here and there. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more down here because I'm like, oops, I need a little bit more. There you can see the little bit of the waves. I'm not looking for exact waves. I want it to look very distressed. Now, while it's still partially a little damp, I'm going to place this into the embossing folder. First, I do the small circle piece, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the larger piece. There we go. And I run it through my die cutting machine, which is on the side. Once that's done, you have all this texture on here. And now I'm going to bring in the shimmer spray, and I'm just going to do some splattering. That's it. Just splatter it. And then I'm going to set it to the side while we continue to do all the other fun things. So while that's drying, I'm going to grab my Marshmallow cardstock, the round circle, and that's where my image is going to live. I'm going to grab my stamping platform. I'm going to put this on here. I have a little sticky mat in there. So that's why I just stick it on there, place my stamp, and I'm going to bring in some Memento ink and my frog press to get this image nice and crisp on here. So here's my Memento ink pad because I'll be using alcohol markers, and this is an alcohol friendly ink pad. Now, I'm going to do this several times because I should have re-inked my pad and I didn't, but you'll see me press this 3 times. You don't have to do it that many times. Luckily, the frog press gives me nice even pressure, and it's really good. Just make sure your ink pad is nice and fresh. So this one last press here, and then we can start our coloring. There we go. And now I can pull out my image, and I'll set my um, stamping tool to the side, and I'll bring in everything to color my image. As you know, I like to color on a clipboard, so I'm going to bring that in, and my alcohol markers. If you don't have alcohol markers and you prefer color pencils or any watercolor, by all means, use your favorite coloring medium. I'm going to use my Olo markers, and I'm going to color my fish in shades of orange and yellow. So I have my 3 shades of orange here, and I'll have these in the description box below for you. So I start with my darkest, and then I'm going to move into the mid color of orange. So I have my dark orange. I'm just putting little flickering marks. Now, this image is super easy and fun to color because it has a lot of the lines already there, a lot of the detail. So you're just filling in all those little details. Super cute. I think she's so adorable, this little fish. So I go from the darkest to the mid-tone with the medium color, and I color right over the darkest, pulling it out just a little bit. That way it blends nicely. So there you go. And then the lightest orange. And then I'll move on to the yellows here in a moment. So I'm going to do the same thing to all her little fins right there. Now I'll close these, and I'll bring in the yellows. So as you can see, it starts a nice gradient from the dark to light. I'm grabbing my yellows. I pulled a lot of yellows because I wasn't sure, and then I finally decided, yep, these are the ones I want. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go right over the lightest yellow with my darkest, not lightest yellow. Yeah, no. I'm going to go right over my lightest orange with my darkest yellow. So it's just going to make that orange just a little bit lighter. That's all it's going to do. And now I'm going to I'll move on to my midtone, and then finally the lightest yellow. And then the yellow tones will be mostly on her face so that you can see her pretty little face. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my dark yellow to go all around to bring more detail and shadowing around her face, like so. And then the mid-tone, and then I'll finally blend out with the lightest. And I went around the eye, and I got a little bit in the white space of her eye, but I'll show you how I fix that. It's a super easy fix. So I'm just going to go ahead and give a last minute blend, fill in any areas that I think need some color. There we go. And then the little flowers, I'll take care of those in a moment. So I need to color the little flowers and her eye. I'm doing super simple, easy coloring, 2 to 3 colors per section. I keep it nice and easy. Now, if you want lots of great detailed coloring, expertise coloring, tune in on Tuesdays to watch Joy do her live. She gives you great techniques and explanations and shows you how to truly color with alcohol markers. So for her eye, I did 2 tones of blue, the darkest on the ends, and then I blended it out with a lighter, so nice curvature. Now I'm bringing in a white gel pen to clean up my oops that I did near her eye and add more highlight to her eyeball. For the little flowers, I went ahead and colored them in with my lightest blue, creating little forget-me-not flowers, because forget-me-not flowers are blue. And since I'm sending this card out to a loved one, sending them oceans of love, I want them not to forget me, meaning that now I'm a yellow fish. So I'm adding those little blue flowers. Now there's not little blue dots. There's little dots, part of the image itself. So I highlighted those with the light blue marker, and now I'm going in and adding some more with the dark blue marker, just to create that whole bubble effect. So now our image is done, all colored and set. Now all we have to do is stamp our sentiment. I'm going to set this little image to the side for a second. I'll grab my sentiment and my stamping platform. I'm just grabbing everything here at once. I think I'm checking my panel to make sure it's dry. And it is. So I'm going to go ahead and, yeah. All right. I'm just checking to make sure it's dry. I don't think it's completely dry. It is. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and stamp. It's just, you have to check to make sure. But I'm not really happy with the way my panel looks. You'll see I'll add to it in a moment. But I'm going to pull out the little bubbles and our sentiment. The sentiment will be sending you oceans of love, which I think is so sweet. I'm going to place that on the other circle that I cut from the Marshmallow cardstock. And I'm going to stamp it across like so with the VersaFine Clair in Nocturne. So it's nice and crisp. There you go. And then I'll bring in my Memento once again, because I'm going to stamp some bubbles right down here on the bot, towards just underneath the sentiment and just above the sentiment. So I'll clean it off real quick and my sentiment, remove it from the platform so I don't get any smudges. And then I will stamp it one more time. And then I'll color those in with the blue markers in a moment. So I'm bringing in all the components to my card here. And this is sped up. I wish I moved this fast, but this video is running kind of long. Now I've cut all my panels just like a fourth of an inch smaller as we went. So the blue is smaller than the white, the card base, and then the distressed panel here that we've done all our mixed media on is just slightly smaller than the blue. So here I'm bringing in some sheer shimmer spray in, I believe that's frost, not sparkle, frost. So it gives me more of a white look. So I have white bubbles and I put in a little bit more of the blue shimmer spray that I used. So I dried that off really quick, not completely. I don't care that it's a little bit wet. It's going to get layered on top of it, so it's okay. So I get that on there. I adhere my navy panel and now my mixed media panel. And I start building from the back up. I'm going to paper towel dry a little bit off of there. I figure out exactly where I want my image and my sentiment, and I will pop up both the image and the sentiment with some foam adhesive, and then everything else will get glued under and over these two panels. So I start out with some white bubbles and then some blue hearts. There we go. Just layering them, just building layers, and I'll keep going from here, as you can see. And then I put some light blue bubbles, and it's okay that they overlap. We want that messy kind of overlapping look to our panels here. And I'll just keep cutting and adding hearts and bubbles to the panel until I get it exactly how I like it. Now, if this is not something you like to do, it's okay. You don't have to do all these layers. You can just cut two circles and put your fish and your sentiment in it and keep it a little more clean and simple. Or you can give this a try, a little more mixed media, a little light mixed media, as I would call it, because there's no texture paste or anything like that. We did our texture with our embossing folder. But if you do like this and you want to see more cards like this from me, just let me know. Drop me a yes, please in the comment section so that I know to add some more, to create some more cards like similar to this. And yes, I forgot to put my uh, little embellished circle here. It's not embellished, it's the other mixed media circle. So I threw it in at the last minute, but it worked out pretty well. So here I'm bringing in the girl's best friend rhinestones to add a little sparkle to our bubbles in our card. And I just pop them here and there around our image and sentiment. I'm also going to bring in the mermaid's tail confetti. These are the tiny little flat blue confetti pieces. And now let's look at our card. Look at all that beautiful dimension. So we use the Don't Be Coy stamp set for our card today, and the girl's best friends, and the mermaid tail confetti. I hope you like this card. Let me know if you want to see more mixed media type cards like this and what you think. Thank you for being here. I hope you found some inspiration. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to give you another look at our card. Thank you.